Okay, I'm just going to show you how to tie an Aurora cascade. So basically this is a size 6 mustard, and I've started off white thread 3 or 4 mil back from the eye and taken it down to the back where I've tied a length of fine oval gold. It's uni, small, so I'm just going to take it between the point and the bar, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 4 turns back down towards the bend, and some people bring their tinsel down in between and below the hooks. I've always just taken mine, I've tied my tinsel below, and then I take the 3 or 4 turns and pull it above the top of the shank. Doesn't really matter what way you do it, it's just preference. For the tail on this, it's going to be mixed bucktail, and it's yellow and orange. Here's a wee bunch of mixed, and the lengths whatever you want. I'm tying some for an order here. This one on the Solar was the sample fly. Those first 3 are 8s, and then this end one is a 6, so you can see the way the tail is longer there. So I'm going to tie, this is another 6, and I have some 4s to tie as well, so I'm just going to measure the tail against this older one, or this other one that I tied. I'm going to take my thread up, tie it against the tag, and then hold the bucktail on top and take a couple of turns round just to hold it securely. And it's a reasonably long tail on this. It's probably 2 or 2.5 times probably the shank length, I would say. I have to excuse this squeaky bobbin holder. And get it tied in 2/3 of the way, and then just trim away your access. Come right down, tidy that up. And on the way back I'm going to catch in a couple of strands of crystal hair. This is just standard crystal hair, and this is peacock. So take your 3 strands and lay it along the top, full length of the tail, and tie it right up against the tag. I'm not sure on the original pattern if the sort of yellow or green floss tag was tied in below the tail or above. This particular sample I was sent to copy has it tied. There's no gold tag, or there's no gold tag on this below the tail. It just has the tail tied in first, and then you can see the yellowy section, yellowy greeny section at the back here. But I like to tie in a tinsel tag at the back because it stops, I think it stops anything slipping. And it does kick the tail slightly, but you can twist or work with the tail until it lies flatter. The tail's not too bad there now. So what we're going to do is, this is a Glow Bright floss. I think it's phosphor yellow, which is like a neon yellow. It's not green, it's more yellow, more of a fluorescent yellow. So I'm going to tie that in. And this is the thing with the white thread, your tag is going to show a nice bright colour. If you were winding over red thread or black thread or something like that, this light floss is going to lose its appeal. So we either want to keep the thread the same colour or something very light. You could probably get away with yellow or grey. In this case I'm using white uni thread. I don't know, I can change it any time now, I suppose, to the red. Just focus this camera again. So just switch your threads over, take away the white and your tag end of the red. At this point I'm going to catch in a length of gold wire, and this is to protect the body, which is going to be large gold holographic. So tie your wire in underneath and right up against your phosphor yellow tag, and then what you want is a length of wide holographic gold. And I tie it in just a couple of mil back from the tag, or forward of the tag, so whenever you wind your first turn, it doesn't come over the tag. If you tie the right up, your first turn will half cover your tag, so that's about right. What I want here is just, the wire will protect the body, but if you wind it over super glue, that makes it even stronger. Just take the thread down. So first turn at the back, and then take just slightly overlapping turns, and leave yourself a bit of room, because you have a wing, 2 hackles, and a couple of jungle cock eyes to go on. So I take one straight turn at the very back, and then just rib your fly, probably 4 to 5 turns. Keep it even and keep a bit of tension on your wire. Come across the wire and make sure your tension's on it, and just keep a bit of tension on it whilst putting a few turns of thread over, and then just wiggle it till it breaks off. The wing on this Aurora Cascade is grey squirrel natural, so what I'm going to do is take a pinch off a tail here which I have, and the wing on this other one is sort of reasonably heavy. The dressing on this is reasonably heavy, this sample one, so I'm going to keep it, probably it's a bit heavier than I would usually dress moonflies, but it's down to personal choice. Just put it into the stacker, and then your tips are, see that? You have to draw it out slowly out of the outer casing. Your tips are nicely lined up, and just pinch those and pull them out. If there's any strays, anything that's not sitting nice, pull it out. The tail on this, or the wing on this, is, again, depends on what you like. Some people like a short wing, some like a longer wing. I would say the wing on the sample here, you're probably talking, it goes a third of the way into the tail. So what I'm going to do is just pinch it where I'm going to tie it in, and then I'm going to trim the square heads on this for me to catch in, so keep it nice and low and get a couple of turns of thread over it. This wee bit of thread's already waxed, so it should give you a bit of grip on it. You can just put squirrel or any hard hairs, goat or anything like that, we dab with super glue, and just wind over it. Any short ones or anything, just there you go. So that's your wing tied in. Now we're ready for the hackles. On this particular fly, this is going to be my orange cock neck is a bit short on the right sized feather, so this is actually a hen. I'll give it a wee bit extra movement. Probably 2 or 3 turns, so tie it in with the tip and just fold the fibres back, trying to keep it as tidy as you can. Keep the turns of the hackle stock touching if you can, and try and keep them reasonably straight. And I've used up all that hackle because it's a hen, it's quite short. I'm just going to tie the stock off. Once you've 3 or 4 turns, you can trim it away. I'm just going to give the thread a wee wax again. And straight in front, an orange hackle as well. Now this can be hen or it can be a cock hackle. This is a cock hackle. So I'm just going to tie that in. Trim away the waste and the tip. You can trim it off after too, but I'll just fold the. All you're doing is just breaking the edge here to encourage the fibres to fold easier. Some people pre-fold the feathers before they tie them in, but I just like to fold them while I'm tying them in. Same thing, about 3 turns, and keep the turns as close and as straight as you can. A wee bit of tension, you know, enough tension so that they're tight without snapping the feather. At this point, just push any fibres that are stray or sitting out of place back, and what I'm going to do is just go forward of the eye and wind up a bit. I'm trying to taper the head as I'm going. Now what you want for the finish this is a couple of jungle cock eyes. They don't need to be too big, and the difference of this fly is that the jungle cock's usually tied on as a pair, either side, sort of slightly favouring the top side of the hook. Well, these are tied on, this is the top side of the hook there, so it's just a single one at the top, and if I flip the fly right over so you're looking at the bottom, there's a jungle cock eye at the very bottom too, so you can't see it from the sides, but I suppose a fish coming at the fly from underneath would see that. So these are tied on slightly different. So get your jungle cock and take a couple of middle of the road eyes off. Quality of these, it doesn't matter. They're going to get split when you're fishing, so they look nice on a newly tied fly, but once the fly's been fished for a day or caught 3 or 4 fish, the chances are the eyes will be split. And who really knows if it makes any difference anyway. A lot of people that tie for really like jungle cock eyes, but I'm not really convinced that it's 100% necessary. It does look nice on certain flies, but to be honest, a lot of my own flies don't have it. Just tie in an eye at the top, get a couple of turns round, and then if you can, flip your vise over, if you can rotate it, and line it up nicely if you can. A couple more loose turns, which allows you to position you can probably see the top eye because I'm working at the bottom one facing me. So just till you're happy that right, and then you can take a couple of tighter turns down, and then what you want to do is just fold the stalk ends back. They're tricky because when you're used to tying them on the sides, you sort of get used to that, so tying them above and below is takes a few to get used to it. 3 or 4 turn whip finish, and trim away your thread. I'm going to just pull the stalk end at the top tight and cut it, and the same at the bottom. Just being careful not to nip your thread or your jungle cock feather. All I'm going to do is just enhance the red head with Glow Bright Scarlet Floss. I'll just get it started here without letting it slip down the head. There's a wee stray fibre there, so take it off. Once you're happy enough you've got it secured, it doesn't matter, you don't need to fully cover the head, you can cover this other bit whilst you're finishing it, so save any bulk. 3 turn whip finish, trim away your waste. All you're left to do is put a coat of varnish or super glue or resin or whatever you prefer for your heads. I'll probably give this a coat of super glue and 2 coats or 3 coats of varnish. So that's basically it. cascade, the jungle cockeye on the top. Thanks for watching.